Hello everybody! Today we are gonna study how difference between third line and fourth line. Now you know this is the really famous joseki that you are using. From here, black just has one space approach and white has played something like this. After this, you have to decide to choose third line and fourth line. Which one do you prefer to use? I can say those are correct. Just you may want to know how they are different, so I prepared this lecture. I recommend you, if you like to have a stable base, then you can use the third line. The reason is, even if white approach here, when you jump here one more time, then your base is quite stable. But if you are using the fourth line, like this, then which means when white approaches here, then your territory and base is worse than third line. For example, if you want to close your base, if you want to close your territory, just like this, close the door. But you know, now somehow black is not that efficient. Black has to, one stone has to be here, alright? And if black has to jump here, somehow it's slower than just now. So why we are using the fourth line? The reason is when white approaches here, black just doesn't care about black's base, even which means black just want to handle the center. Black just can play fast move like this. Even though white plays here, black can just try to handle the inference. That is the reason why black plays fourth line. So basically it should be harder than third line. But it doesn't mean that is bad. Just it depends on how much you are understanding about handling the inference. So of course I have to teach you the aji after white approach. Okay, let's just study about it. For example, if black plays here and white still can approach here, and if you just answer here, then of course everything is okay. But main point is white spent one move at the third line and black spent one move at the fifth line. So somehow black is a bit slow, right? So if white just goes to the big place, this exchange cannot be bad move, bad exchange for white. So normally, black prefer to just go to other place because now the lower side is very big. So after this, white is still, into the black territory, white can invade. So now normally that we are using is this one. We have to know the variation, then you will know how you can use. After this, of course, black has to attach. Black has a few answers, just like attach here and Kosumi. So which one do you like more? You have to know why we are using, now though I can say, we are using the C. D is not used in this situation. Somehow if you are using the D, you can capture the white, but that's your mistake. If white just push and stretch is the amazing move. I can just connect both sides. If you are playing here, white can just connect this way, and if you are cutting here, then white can connect with here. Even if you want to capture, then it doesn't work. Now black is in trouble. So now after you play like this, finally eventually you have to play here, but you have one more cutting point. So now this is not the best result. So in this situation we don't use Kosumi because of this move. Okay, you got it? So now black has to use the C. This is only that we are using. So white has a two option as well now. If white just want to connect with this one stone, then white can play here. When I'm playing here, you can just beat together like this. This is one of the joseki. After that, if you want to keep it influence, then you have to keep jump. And you have to spend some move at the center. Even you lose some territory at the left hand side. You already played at the lower side, so that's why I cannot say black is bad. Just you will be unhappy because you are losing all the territory, but you have to count you spent one move at the big place just now. You got it right? Okay, so now the main point is 23 is also important. If you just keep this one, in the future, if white just approach here and then if I just play here, became your influence might be weak group, something like this. That's why normally we just complete until now. And if white just answer, black can go to big place. Okay. And white has another option as well. White can stretch this one. Similar as just now. Just the black position is much better. If I just play here, then you can connect this way. And even you may choose such kind of move, then now actually black is in trouble. If black just try to have a capturing race in this area, when you are doing here, actually even I can like this. Even I can try to save these stones because now the ladder might work. Actually, I didn't read it carefully. Now ladder in this situation is working. Yeah, but most of the time even ladder doesn't work. Black cannot play like that. And so finally black has to stretch here. Then you know now black doesn't have a cutting point at least. So white has to play here. So this is the almost the joseki, but this is not the joseki. You have to know why. Now black has a timing to exchange this move. This is like if you make white to answer, this is a little bit better for black. So normally, you know, white has a two answer, connect or tiger's mouth. But if white is just playing tiger's mouth, then you know now this strategy is sente. After this, we can just cut and capture these two stones. White cannot save these two stones. That's why white has to answer. Then if you just answer here, white will be captured. So it doesn't work. And white need to just connect here. After that, you can play here. Then this exchange is good for you. Even 1 point is better for you. And after you play here, your attachment, the power is much stronger than if you didn't have anything here. So now after you play here is same as just now. This is the joseki that we are using. You may want to know one more thing. What about white just ignore and play here? If your level is strong, then I think you may have this question. This is quite sharp question. But even white has play here, then it doesn't work, doesn't really useful for white. I can just wedge, you know, you can't capture, I can punish white, something like this. Now black can get many things at the corner. So now eventually white has to just connect here. After that, if I just do that, you know, you are supposed to connect somewhere, something like this. And even I cut here, you will feel very annoying to answer. How are you gonna answer? You know, if you just capture it, it's not possible to play. I can get something else, something like this. Now this one stone will get damage, and even I connect here. And if you are answering here this way, and even I stretch here, I can't say it was a better exchange for you. Actually, even black can try to play here. Because now when you try to connect here, something will be big trouble. If I just play here, maybe this is better. Like this, I don't think you can save. So white cannot try to play like this. That's why I can say this is a good timing to exchange. And then you can just do that like this. Get it? Then now this is a joseki until here. And then white can think about tenoki. So even if you are handling the black, even you lost all the territory, you went to the big place one time and you are handling the influence. So everything is okay. So now you can play. But just you may not feel comfortable. Just you have to keep watch for a few times. Yeah. And now so if you don't want to lose anything, then you have to answer here. But as I told you, you will lose the big place. So normally if you are using like that, we don't really answer. That's the reason. Okay. And then what about the fourth line? When you are playing at the fourth line, white approaches here, then normally black doesn't answer, as I told you, because if you really want to answer, you just better to play at the third line. Yeah. So now if you use the fourth line, actually white agi is more powerful when you are going to the big place and when white answer. Just if white has a very large knight move, we don't really answer here because it's too concentrated. Normally white has played here. Yeah, but now this is not the topic. Okay, after that, we have to study what agi is inside. Now there are many kind of agi. Basically, white can just play here, and black has to attach to block the center. You know, you can't play like this. Now black will be separated. So now this fighting cannot be good. After that, white has to stretch and then black connect. White is just connect here. This is the joseki, and white has to continue to play. Black will get the influence, and after that we have to just continue to keep fight. And otherwise, this way will be better, good for each other. So even though there are many big plays, then now this is quite important to place. You have to continue to play. Sometimes even black plays here, because next move, this is really powerful. You can press white down. So normally white has to just answer here, and then you can just go here. This is also possible. Yeah, they are used to. What about black just played here? You know, now if you really want to separate, then normally it's not really okay, because even though white is just push and try to cut here, when you save this one stone, and something will get trouble. Even when I just try to cut here, you know, now you can finally you have to just let white to connect with this one stone. So even white can fix the order. After push, white can just, because the you might fear something you are making black thicker. Then now if you don't want to use the bad exchange, then you can just hane here one time and try to cut. That can be also possible. Because you know, now black really cannot answer anything. Now this two stone will be captured, and when black is answering here, even this is a little bit bad exchange, the white shape, white can break black's all the shape. So now that can be also possible. So that's why we don't use this block. So normally black has to play like this. Okay, and then white has something else. White has a witch move. There is such kind of move as well. Now, normally, you know, when you invade to opponent territory, most of the time you have to invade at third line. That's common one. But this time, especially fourth line is also okay. What do you think about black's strategy? If your level is good, I think you can find. Black has, in order to connect, then black has to attach here. This is the strategy that we have to use. And then, which means you are not going to save this one stone. Just you have to sacrifice this one stone. White just has to hane, and black has to cut, and then Atari here. Black has to connect, right? And then you can just connect here. If black just capture, this is a big mistake. Now tiger's mouth power is really good, and even black's influence is not that powerful and strong. So black must stretch here. And then, you know, if you save that, we can try to punish white, and it doesn't work. White has to save with 2 eyes, and then when you are just jumping away, and it's not possible for white. That's why white just has to answer, and then black can capture. This is the joseki that we used. Because the why this is joseki? White sacrifice one stone, but white is sente. And of course white may have to play here as well. Yeah, in this different situation, white can just go to the big place. Still, if you are black, you might be quite unhappy because you lost all the point in your area, right? But you know, about the potential part and influence part, and it's not easy to learn and count directly. When your level is improving, then you will have some bigger eye how you can handle influence. Then your judgment and valuation will be changed naturally. So I still have to say that is joseki. Okay, alright. So now if you are just counting with your math skill, if you are just, because you will just count the territory, of course white is better. Yeah, but when you are just keep playing, and you know black has a potential. For the potential part, we cannot count directly. So basically, if you are using this joseki, I can say you have to be ready to handle the influence. Yeah. Okay, so we just checked the how difference between this and this. What I recommend is third line, because when you play the third line, you can just take the base and territory very easily. So always, if your level is middle level, then I recommend you third line first. But if your level is quite strong, just like, I don't know, really strong level, then you can even use the fourth line as well. Yeah, I have to show you more about this one. What about the white? This move direction is different, and when you are playing here, just like even now you can, you know, different things. So this way is the black. Now black is totally handling the influence. So now you can still play the third line and fourth line. And after this, white is just approach, because white has to restrict. You know, now invasion is not a good idea. Even you can invade here. When you break this area, when you are jumping out to the center, eventually black is going to another place. Now white, black, at the center one time, black just spent at the side, at the third line, territory line one time. So invasion, you just break the here, but you are losing much more thing. That's why white has to just play like this. Okay, when we just use such kind of joseki, if you have this one, and you know the topic is a bit different, because now it's the black's area. This one stone is not white. So if your one stone is here, good part is your territory is quite stable. If white just invade, you can have a really heavy attack. So white cannot really invade, it's too deep. But bad part is white can reduce your inference easily. So now when white plays a hat, then black has to answer something like this. Then white can press down black's inference. So normally when you are handling inference, we are using at the fourth line. Yeah, this one can be more suitable with inference. But if you choose with the territory, just like when you do that, if you just want to use a territory style, then this can be easier. Because after that, you are not going to make it bigger, you just want to share the big place, then now white invasion is not easy. You can just accept reduce. Yeah. But why is not good for the fourth line? You have to know that, right? Of course, after that, white has some invasion and tactics. For this shape, especially white has played here. This is what white is doing. Have you seen this before? Which means if black just answer, white can connect with this area. Normally black is thinking about separate. Even this is used to here. And then white is gonna play like this. Yeah, then now, you know, white break perfectly and black is getting influence. So now anyway, this is a joseki. That's why I don't recommend you with the territory style. Then what about black just separate here? After that, white has to try to go out to the center. If black is just playing here like this, then, you know, which means black wants to take care of the territory, then white can, you know, next round black can connect anytime. So you can, if you want, you can try to separate with one time and try to jump out, something like this. Then you can break the upper corner easily. Yeah, so this is the joseki. If black just try to block the center, now Raji Knight move is the good move. Now if black just want to capture, you can make tiger's mouth. If black just surround from the center, you can save it easily. If black just want to approach, and you can try to go out to center easily. That's why it's not easy to be captured. So now if you are handling the influence, something like this, here. Even in the future, which means you can do it anytime when you want. You got it right? Yeah. Now those three dansegs are the josekis are that I taught you just now. You have to. Normally actually this is not really used to. We are using this one, and then black doesn't play here. Black can just go to the big place because white has a maximum to get in. It's not the biggest right now. But you know, you have a great potential. So even you are losing these things, you can still play. Yeah. So now, and another one is if you want to fight or attack, then you are doing here. But white can break here this territory very easily. Even you feel very difficult to handle after you invade, but still you have to try. Yeah. I can show you some variation, but you know, if opponent play one move differently, then you have to creative again. Yeah. So about the invasion part, I can just tell you the basic pattern, but after that you have to keep try. Yes. If black just plays here, then you have to just keep try to go out to the center. If black just surround from the center, you have to try to make the base. However, yeah. So now they are different, something like that. So if you are handling with your friend, then this can be territory style, and fourth line can be influence style. So if you like to make the big shape, and if you like to kill your opponent, then you can play the fourth line. But if your style is like, or you like to make the territory slowly, and you like to share with your opponent, then you can play third line. You got it right? Okay. Now this joseki we checked, and another one we can check one more thing, and that we used a lot, and even this is similar actually. Just like you approach with knight move and white Kosumi and try to answer, and still you have to decide to play. Actually, this is also similar. If black just plays here, and even in the future we can approach here. But you know, if you just this time I'm not gonna teach you about the edge of the corner. If this is related with the edge of the corner, then that will be much complicated. So now if without here, you can just write without here, okay? And if you just want to protect, then you can just jump, yeah? But if you just go to the other place, whatever that you want, then you have to accept this. Anytime he can get in, something like this. And you have to just jump, or something like this, yeah. Or even white can decide to play here. something like that. Yeah, so if you hate this one, now black can just jump. Yeah, but you know, somehow it's a bit slow, right? So yeah, just now I told you that I'm not gonna tell you about this AGI, but if you want to think about efficient when white approach here, just like if you start to do this kind of a thing first, normally white has to answer something like that. This is the how we are answering. Then black is gonna play here, the old joseki, not the new one, not the AI version. After this, white has to answer, and if you make this sente, then you are not going to give the invention to white. Then you can just play here. So now, why I want to say I want to ignore over here. If this is a one space jump condition, then because that can be a little bit different as well. Yeah. So now if black just has played the fourth line, then which means black is not afraid of this move. Sorry, white has to play here. Then if you are thinking about close the door like this, then I really recommend you to play third line. Okay? And if you are just thinking about going to other place, and even though you are just losing this territory, and if you are okay, if you are thinking comfortable to handle the influence, then you can play fourth line. Yeah. So they are different like that. So still I can say easy plan can be playing at the third line. Yeah. And the last one, one more thing that I am going to explain to you. You know, nowadays this joseki is really popular, and most of the player plays here and this one. Still, Hane, I can't say this joseki has to be disappeared. Still, you know, this is one of the basic move, and black is gonna play like this. Okay, after this, you know, when you search with the AI, then you can just play even big plays here, and even black can get in 3-3 one more time. Those are available, but as for the middle level player, you know, this is really hard for the high level player, because if you are playing something like this, you have to, your mind has to be ready to restrict this perfectly. You know, it should be perfect. If your timing is a little bit late, and if your method was wrong, if your method is wrong, then that will be not good. So what I recommend you, the basic of the how you can restrict influence is the right timing. Now is actually right timing for the normal player. Yeah, not for the like the high level player. So now is the timing, because you gave influence to white. So what I want to say is a long time ago we always played third line split. That was what we played. The reason is when we, even white approach here, when we are playing the two space jump, then your base is quite stable. That was what we were doing before. But nowadays the logic was changed since AI a lot. We don't really care about the base when we restrict opponent's territory. Now you will feel much comfortable when you are having the base. But in the future, even white can play here. But when we have such kind of move, after this, white can press black, something like that. This is one of the tactics, and we can make it bigger. So nowadays that we are using many times when you are watching the professional game, that they have played many moves at the fourth line, even split. And when white approaches here, then black just plays here. Then which means black is thinking, I can accept this. So since AI, the logic was changed a lot. So which means black doesn't really care, and black is confident to handle the center area instead of taking the base. So now black can just go to the big place. You know, now this black speed is faster than white to go out to the center. So that's why black is not thinking to get the base. That's the reason why you can see they are playing at the fourth line many times. So now you understand the reason, right? But still, I have to say, basic of a split should be third line as well. That will be much easier for you guys. Yeah, because even white approach here, then you can get the base. However, yeah, taking base is not bad. And then when your level is getting higher, then if you are a really strong player, and then you can start to use at the fourth line, something like this. But make sure after you, even white goes here, after you play here, you will feel always this kind of thing is annoying. Yeah, it should be true. And how black professional players are covering is that they just start to fight this area first. For example, if white just however play, okay, normally this is not used. But for example, when if black just made this joseki, even this is one kind of the big place. Even black is getting this move, black doesn't have to care anything. That's why they don't really care whether this can be third line or fourth line. So they are preparing actually something after they play. Yeah, something was quite difficult to topping, right? So I can say the main topping is if you are feeling comfortable to have a base first, then you can just use the third line. But if you just want to use the great move like a professional player, and okay, even I don't have a base, I can play. If you are confident like that, then you can use the fourth line. Yeah, and even I show you when you are handling your area. Then if you like to have an inference style, then you can use fourth line. But if you just want to have a territory style, then you can use the third line. Yeah. Even this shape, if I just show you one more thing, if you are playing here, always this aju is here at the middle game. Yeah. If even sometimes in the beginning as well, they are getting in here. If black just answer, then white can do something like this. And if black just wants to fight like this, then white can jump and large knight move and try to fight. This is also joseki. And if black is playing at the third line, in the future black can get in at the 3-3. So what white is using many times is just like white can exchange and try to hane and connect. The reason is if black just answer, you made it disappear about the aju in the corner. But of course black is thick. Yeah, black can handle this influence as well. So why we invade first? If you watch my another video, I already told you. If you just do it this one, then black is not gonna answer. Black can just go to the big place, and when you want to do same as just now, black is just going to play here. Then now even you cut here, sometimes black can fight like this and try to sacrifice these two stones. And even black can try to use this way. Then now there was a reason to tenuki. Now became this is amazing influence. But now if you invade first here like this and this one, and when black is going to big place, I'm not gonna connect here. I'm not gonna cut here. I can just play here, and black has to play here. Then black influence is lighter than just now. But this is also, it depends on white is here or black is there. So now, anyway, I told you many things about the logic of the line. So I can just say simply, you love influence, play here. You love territory, then you play third line. That's it. Okay, thank you very much for watching my long video, and I'm gonna see you next time with a more interesting video. Bye. Thank you.